Hey there, I'm Luke the Cooking Camper along with Zena the Glamper Camper. Welcome to part 1 of making our raspberry colada cheesecake cake in the Ninja Speedi. We are super excited to try this, so I'm just going to start loading stuff into the Speedi. So right inside of the cooking pot, I have a 16.25 ounce cake mix, Betty Crocker Super Moist White. Me and Zena's life verse is, go eat your food with gladness and drink your wine with a joyful heart, for God has already approved what you do. Ecclesiastes 9:7. And that is what we are going to do today with this cake mix. Okay, so we're just going to add this to the KitchenAid without trying to spill too much of it. And this is a vanilla cake mix. Now, according to this cake mix, we need 1 cup of water, half a cup of oil, and 3 eggs. So, I've got the 3 eggs here. Let's go ahead and crack those in. And then for the oil today, me and Zena are going to be using coconut oil. So it's pretty hot here in the Valley of the Sun, so my coconut oil is totally liquefied. So we'll put in half of a cup of the melted coconut oil. Now if you live in a colder climate, or if I've heard of some people storing coconut oil in the fridge, I would probably melt it first, just in the microwave. And then instead of using water, we're going to make it a little bit more creamy. We've got some macadamia milk. It smells really good. And we've got 1 cup of that. Now to get into the raspberry colada flavorings. But first, we're adding this package of cheesecake flavored pudding mix. This is a 3.4 ounce package. There's going to be a lot of flavor going on in here. Okay, now I've got some fresh raspberries. I'm just going to give them a quick rinse. And they are all going in. That is a 6 ounce little pod of raspberries. And then we've got 7 ounces of Del Monte pineapple chunks and 100% juice. Peel that off carefully so we don't get pineapple juice everywhere. Dump that in there. And then since I added the juice from that can, I do want to add a little bit of extra flour just so that it's not too wet. So we've got some flour here. And normally I would weigh out the flour, but we're just kind of going with the flow here. So we're just going to do 1/4 of a cup. And actually, just because I like to be very precise with ingredients like flour, I will weigh it real fast. So my 1/4 of a cup of flour turned out to be 38 grams. So I'm gonna round it up to get to 40. So there's 40 grams of flour. That's just a little bit of extra just to soak up the juice from the pineapple. Now, we are going to add some coconut flakes. This is sweetened shredded coconut. So this is also something I like to weigh out just because. So let's see what 40 grams looks like. Zena's leaving me for the pool, guys. And then I decided this is 100 grams of sweetened shredded coconut. And now we are just going to blend that up and see what happens. So I originally got this idea to do this from Cooking with James. He has a YouTube channel. So I watched his original video on how to bake a cake in the Ninja Speedi, and I'm just taking it up like a million bajillion nachos. So that actually mixed together really fast, and I'm glad that the raspberries kind of broke up a little bit. Hopefully the pineapples also broke up a little. Smells kind of funky, gotta be honest. Let's give it a taste. Wowza. That is going to be friggin' delicious. So, now what we're gonna do is pop it into our Ninja Speedi pan. Now, what I'm actually going to do is, if I can find them, where are you, parchment paper? Okay, maybe I'm not going to. I don't know where I put them. You guys ever do that? Put something away in your kitchen, and then the second you try to use it, you have no idea where you put it. Ooh, I think I might have put them down here. Yep. So I got these on Temu. I am going to have them linked down below. These things were less than $1 for all of these parchment paper rounds. Now, since the Speedi is actually a square, I use 3 to just fill up the whole area. So I can do 2. You can really actually probably do it with 2. These I also got on Temu. I'll have these linked also. The scissors were only 9 cents for a pair of kitchen scissors. Now the goal is really just to get I'm going to try to flip this cake out at the end, so I just want to have a good release on the bottom. So I actually used 2. That looks pretty good. The cake is going to like bake up over it. I just really want it on the bottom just to make it a little bit easier. Then we will use a spatula. Get this mixture off. I don't know why it smells so weird. It does not smell tasty whatsoever, but man, does it taste good. Like I said, I really hope that that extra flour I added kind of helps to hold in that extra juice that I added from the pineapple. Now I'm just kind of scraping the bottom, just so I make sure that there's no cake mix or flour that didn't get mixed up. And now we are just going to dump this into our Ninja Speedi. The raspberries and the pineapple really broke up nicely. I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know if the raspberries would totally smush, but they seemed just like the perfect freshness at the store. Like they hadn't been sitting there a long time, so they didn't like totally... Sometimes if you mix in fresh berries into a mix like this, and they were sitting in the store for a really long time, or you've had them in their fridge for a couple days, they literally just like melt into the batter. So I'm really happy with the consistency. They just like broke up into their little individual segments, or whatever you call the little balls that make up a raspberry. That smells so weird. Of course, we gotta lick the spoon. You guys, it tastes so good. So good. Cannot wait for it to bake. Pop this on top so that it doesn't burn. Then we're going to close this up. On our Ninja Speedi, we're going to go down to bake 350. And I know it sounds like a long time, but in his recipe, he didn't mix in a whole bunch of extra stuff like I did. He didn't mix in fruit and extra liquid. He does his for 40 minutes. So his was perfectly cooked after 40 minutes. So we'll see. I added a whole bunch of extra moisture to this. So we're just going to start with, oh, that's nice. On bake, it does not have to preheat. So yeah, that was all of part one. I got everything mixed up in there, and now it's just cooking. Now the next parts, after this dude is done cooking, we are going to turn it into a poke cake by poking holes in the top, and then I'm going to come up with a mixture of coconut milk, raspberry jello, cream cheese, and I feel like I might be missing something, I'm not sure. But it's going to be a mix of those things. Then I'm going to poke holes in the top, dump in that mixture. Then we're going to put it in the fridge for quite a long time, and then till that sets. Then, to top that off, in part probably 3, I have some cream cheese frosting that I bought. I'm going to mix in some fresh raspberries and some of this coconut creamy stuff. That's going to be the very top of the dessert, and then we're going to put it back in the fridge. So I don't know if this is going to be something we'll be enjoying tonight or tomorrow, but stay tuned for the rest of the updates. If you liked this video, make sure to give us a big thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to check out Temu. I mean, both of these. Super crazy cheap, less than $1, linked down below. Use our promo code GET2440 to get a total percentage off of your entire order. And yeah, check out Temu, check out this recipe, check out this YouTube channel that I originally got the idea from. They just made a normal German chocolate cake, cooking with James. And yeah, so get out and enjoy what God has given us, and get out and enjoy nature and food as much as we do. Subscribe so that you can see the rest